Hello students, welcome to the second part of chapter number 2 of 10th class science, that is acids, bases and salts. In the first part of the chapter we have discussed about acids. Now here in the second part we will discuss about bases and the indicators. So let's start with the chapter. Now bases, what basically the bases are. Now the ancient people, in acids also I have explained you that the ancient times people used to categorize the things on the basis of either their taste or on the basis of smell. So acids are classified as the substances which have sour taste, and bases are the substances that are soapy in nature and have bitter taste. But it is not possible for we people to taste every acid or to taste every base. So for that we can define these acids and bases by using the modern definition. So that also we'll discuss here. So let's start. Now the bases. Bases are the substances that are soapy in nature and bitter to taste. Now they are soapy in nature. We have seen a soap, so that soap also have basic nature. So we can say that the bases are soapy in nature, and if you will taste a base, so it tastes bitter. Now, according to the proper definition of the base, bases are the substances that is capable of releasing one or more OH negative ion, that is your hydroxyl ion, in aqueous solution. What we have discussed, that acids, they will release H positive ion in aqueous solution, and now the bases are the substances that will release hydroxyl ion in aqueous solution. Now next is alkalis. What are alkalis? Alkalis are a type of base only. Now all the bases that we have, they all are not water soluble. So the bases that are soluble in water, they are considered as alkalis. So we can say that the bases that are water soluble, they are considered as your alkalis. Next is example is suppose potassium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide. They all are the example of bases that are water soluble, or we can say that these are the example of your alkalis. Now we can say that all the alkalis, they are base, but not all the bases are alkalis. Next is we can consider the example of bases which are not alkali, that is these are the bases which are water soluble. So the ferric hydroxide and ammonia, they are the example of bases which are not soluble in water. So we can say that these are the example of bases which are not alkali. Next is the classification on the basis of strength. The classification of acids on the basis of strength we have studied, that is as strong acid and strong base. In the similar way, we can categorize bases on the basis of strength similarly as strong base and weak base. Now what is a strong base? Bases which are completely ionized in water. That means the bases which will get completely ionized to give you hydroxyl ion, that is the OH negative ion in their aqueous solution, they are considered as your strong base. For example, sodium hydroxide. Now sodium hydroxide in its aqueous solution will give you sodium ion and hydroxide ion or hydroxyl ion. In the similar way, potassium hydroxide will also get completely ionized to give you potassium ion and hydroxyl ion. The other example of strong base we can have is your barium hydroxide. Next is about the weak base. Weak base are the bases which are partially or weakly ionized in water. Partially I have explained in the case of acids also that they will not completely ionize to give you OH negative ion. Some of the base it will remain in water, it will not get ionized. So because of which we can say that the bases which are partially or weakly ionized in water, that is your weak base. For example, calcium hydroxide, sodium, ammonium hydroxide and magnesium hydroxide. Next is the properties of bases. First of all, we'll discuss about the physical properties. Now we have already discussed that bases have bitter taste and bases are soapy to feel. Basically here we are discussing about the alkalis. and they are corrosive in nature. Corrosive means that if they fall on your skin, so they can have adverse effects. They conduct electricity because when you will dissolve bases in their aqueous solution, so they will ionize to give hydroxyl ion, that is OH negative. So if free ions are present, so we can see that they can conduct electricity. Next is the chemical properties of bases. First property is the action on litmus. We all know that bases will turn red litmus to blue. Next is action with metals. Whenever the bases will react with metal, they will give salt of that particular metal and hydrogen gas. For example, when zinc will react with sodium hydroxide, so this will give you sodium zincate and hydrogen gas will be evolved. Next is, now one more thing, that all the metals, they cannot react with bases. Only a few metals are there that can react with bases, that too under the effect of heat. Next is the action with non-metallic oxides. Bases react with the oxides of non-metal to give you salt and water. Bases will not react with the oxides of metal. Acids we have discussed about the reaction of acids with metal oxides also, but bases will not react with the metal oxides, they will react with non-metal oxides. For example, calcium hydroxide, when it reacts with carbon dioxide, it will give you calcium carbonate and water. Next, one more example is there, that is when sodium hydroxide, when it will react with carbon dioxide, so it will give you sodium carbonate and water. Some common non-metallic oxides are here: sodium dioxide, calcium dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur trioxide. Now next is the action of these bases with your acids. This we have already studied in case of acids also. This is known as neutralization. So when this sodium hydroxide reacts with sulfuric acid, so it will give you sodium sulfate and water. So this is the example of your neutralization reaction. One more thing, that when these bases will react with non-metallic oxide, this is also the example of your neutralization reaction, because on reaction the basic property of this base here will get neutralized with this non-metallic oxide. So we can say that these non-metallic oxides, they are somewhat acidic in nature, because of which we can say that these reactions are the example of your neutralization reaction. This was about the chemical properties of bases. In bases, these bases will not react with the carbonates or the bicarbonates. They will not decompose those carbonates, hence we cannot show their reactions. Next is the comparison between acids and bases. First one is about the taste. The taste of acids is sour, we have already discussed. Next is about bases. The taste of bases is bitter. Next is the action on litmus paper. We all know that acids will turn blue litmus to red and bases will turn red litmus to blue. Next is the electrical behavior or the electrical conductivity. Acids, they conduct electricity, as well as bases can also conduct electricity. So this factor is common in acids and bases, because they both are the good conductors of electricity. Next is the action on carbonate salts. We have discussed about the reaction of carbonates with acids. So we can say that the acids will decompose carbonate salt, but bases will not be able to react with carbonates. The reason is that they will not be able to decompose the carbonate salts. Next is the properties. The acidic properties disappear when reacts with bases. This is about the neutralization reaction. When acids, they will react with bases, so the acidic properties will get disappear. In the similar way, when bases will react with acids, so the basic property of these bases will also get disappear. So this was about the comparison between acids and bases. Next is the indicators. Till now we have studied about acids and bases, but how will classify whether a particular substance is an acid or a base? How will come to know whether we are having acid or base? That we can determine with the help of indicators. So indicators are the substances that will indicate the nature of the solution, whether the solution is acidic or basic. So we can have two types of indicators. One is the natural indicator that are naturally occurring, and second one is the synthetic indicator that is man-made indicators. So first of all, let's discuss about the natural indicators. First of all, the very first natural indicator is your litmus that we all have used in our lab. This litmus, this can be present in the form of a liquid or in the form of paper also. So this litmus is basically a purple color dye which is obtained from the lichen plant. When you will dip this litmus we are having in two colors, that is the blue litmus and the red litmus. If the blue litmus, if it changes to red color, so it indicates that the given solution is your acid. And for bases, the color of the litmus, that is the red litmus, it changes to blue. Next is your red cabbage. This red cabbage, this also changes its color. This red cabbage, in the case of a weakly alkaline solution, its color changes to green. And in case of acidic solution, its color changes to purple to red, depending on the acidity of the solution, acidic behavior of the solution. Next is the turmeric. This so we all have observed that in turmeric, the basic color of turmeric is yellow. So when in case of acidic solution, the color of the turmeric, it will not get changed, it will remain same. But in case of basic solution, the color of the turmeric, it changes to red. We have observed that if some curry falls on your clothes and if you will wash them with your soaps or detergent, so after that we observe that the color from yellow it changes to red. The reason is that our soaps having basic nature. Next is the flower. This one is your hydrangea. Hydrangea is a type of flower. Basically it determines the nature of the soil, whether the soil is acidic, it is basic or it is neutral. If this hydrangea plant, if it grows in an acidic soil, so the color of the hydrangea flowers will be blue. In case of basic soil, the color of the flower will be pink, and in case of neutral soil, the color of the hydrangea will be purple. So this is basically determine the nature of the soil. Next one is your olfactory indicators. This olfactory indicators is the other class of your indicators, but it lies in the category of natural indicators only. In these cases, we determine the nature of the solution with the help of their color, but these olfactory indicator, they are relating to the sense of smell. With the help of smell, they indicate whether the particular solution is acidic or basic in nature. Three common examples of olfactory indicators are onion, vanilla and clove. If you will put some of the onion paste in basic solution, so that onion will loses its smell. You will not get the smell of onion from that solution, but in case of acidic solution, the smell of onion will remain same. The same case is there with vanilla also, that vanilla in case of basic solution it also loses its smell, but in case of acidic solution it retains its smell. Similarly, clove also, it loses its smell in basic solution and retains its smell in acidic solution. Next is about the synthetic indicators, that is the man-made indicators. Two common examples we are having. One is your phenolphthalein, second one is your methyl orange. Now this phenolphthalein, it is basically colorless. So when you will put this phenolphthalein in acidic solution, so it will not change its color, it will remain colorless. But in case of basic solution, its color changes to pink. Next one is methyl orange. This methyl orange, as is clear from the name, it is orange in color. In acidic solution, its color changes to orange to red, but in basic solution its color changes from orange to yellow. This was about the indicators, that is the natural indicator and the synthetic indicators, they only determine whether the particular solution is acidic or basic, but they cannot determine the strength of the acidic solution, whether if the acidic solution is there, whether that solution is a weak acid or a strong acid. If we are having basic solutions, whether that is a basic weak base or a strong base. This we will determine with the help of a universal indicator. So let's discuss that. Next is pH scale. Now this pH scale is our universal indicator. Till now that the indicators that we have studied, they can only determine whether the particular substance is acidic or basic, but it can determine the level of acidic behavior or the level of basic behavior of a particular substance. So this scale is basically measure the hydrogen ion concentration in a solution. So this scale basically measures your hydrogen ion concentration. Now in case of pH, P stands for the word potence, which means power. So this pH means the power of hydrogen ion. So this scale basically measures the power of hydrogen ion. Now this pH scale, it is having 14 colors, 0 to 7. If its value ranges from 0 to 7, that means we can say that the particular substance is acidic, and in case of 7 to 14 it will be basic. But if the value it is 7, if it comes to be 7 on a pH scale, so we can say that the particular substance will be neutral. So on pH scale the value can vary from 0 to 14. So 0 to 7, that is if the pH of a particular substance, if it is less than 7, so we'll call it as acidic. If its value is greater than 7, so we call it basic, and if its value is equal to 7, then it is neutral. So because of this reason, it is known as universal indicator. Next is the significance of pH in our daily life. First of all is our digestive system. We all know to digest food, our stomach releases an acid, and that acid is your dilute hydrochloric acid. Sometimes the level of acid released by our stomach, it increases, so that led to indigestion or acidity. So if we want to neutralize the effect of this acid, so for that we can use antacids. These antacids are basically made from milk of magnesia, which is your magnesium hydroxide. Basically this antacid is your base. We know to reduce the acidic behavior, we have to treat it with base. So for curing your acidity, we will treat it with antacids. Next is your tooth decay. Sometimes we observe that our tooth starts to decay. Now why it happens? When the pH of our mouth, when it falls below 5.5, that means when it becomes more acidic, at that time the enamel that is made up of calcium phosphate that get corroded. So this is known as our tooth decay. Now how we can cure our tooth decay? In case of tooth decay, it is advised to do paste, that is to treat it with toothpaste. Why we are treating it with toothpaste? The reason is that because of this fallen pH, the mouth becomes more acidic. So to neutralize its effect, we must treat it with a base, and that toothpaste is somewhat basic in nature. Next is your self-defense by animals. Number of animals are there that releases either acidic substance or the basic substance for their self-defense. For example, the bees and the ants, they will release acidic substance. We have studied that they will release formic acid. So if they will bite you, so in that case we have to treat that particular area with a base, so that we can neutralize the effect of acid released by bees and ants. So basically in that case we will treat it with soap, because soap is basic in nature. In the similar way, wasps are there. So those wasps, they will release an alkaline substance. So in that case, to neutralize its effect, we have to treat it with acid. So basically we are treating that with either the salt substances or it is advised to use vinegar at that particular area to neutralize its effect. Next is the soil pH and the plant growth. Now if the pH of the soil, if it is more acidic, if it is more basic, so in that situation either the plants will not grow properly, or it may happen that they will not even grow over there. So to treat that, if we are having acidic soil, so it is advised to treat that soil with a quicklime or slaked lime. Why? Because they are basic in nature, so that the effect of acidic soil could be neutralized. In case of basic soil, it is advised to treat that soil with a decaying organic matter. So this was about the significance of pH in our daily life. Now in our next video we'll discuss about salts. I hope that the topics that I explained here in this video are clear to you. Thank you.